Hi, this is Deborah Atkinson, founder of The Voice for Fitness. Thanks for joining me for this video number 2. This is the second in a series, and if you didn't see the first one, click right up here, watch the link, either first or second. But in that first video, I told you I was going to teach you the things that you need to focus on to build a 6 or 7-figure personal training business. And it's not impossible anymore. There are a lot of trainers who are doing it. But there are a lot of trainers who are doing it really well because they're doing a few key things. And I'm going to teach you how to do those things without being sleazy, pushy, or salesy. In the first video, I talked about why our marketing efforts, even though we're doing it, we're spending time, we're spending money, we're spending energy, are failing. So if you haven't seen that video, click that button and go and look at that link and follow it all the way through. But I'm going to hit on 3 more reasons why, not just our marketing, but what's behind the marketing. So we can't actually market anything unless we have a product or service to put out there. So it can't be all the fault of marketing. If you've got someone involved in your program already, you've got some clients. What you need to get is more clients and more momentum. And there's probably a problem in your current customer or your current participant in a group program passing the word along to a potential referral, a friend, a colleague, a relative. And the problem is that you don't have a clear and concise program or result that you're promising. So it's a problem that a lot of people who go into business are trying to avoid getting their name in one small bucket and putting all their eggs in that one bucket or basket because it's scary to go deep into one little niche. But the challenge of not doing that is that your customer doesn't have specific words to say, this is what you do. And you don't, in your marketing, have specific words to say, this is what we do. This is what we're known for. And we are excellent. We are the best at this one thing. Because nobody wants average. If you have to choose among restaurants, are you going to choose an average restaurant, or are you going to choose to go on a special occasion to a really nice or unique restaurant with a great theme? Most people will choose the latter. We're not looking for more average in our lives. And most people wouldn't choose an average personal trainer. They want the one who specializes in the thing that will help them. So if a customer has a specific problem, they're looking for an answer to that specific problem. They're not looking for a generic, well, I can do this and I can do that and I can do this type of thing. They're looking for who's done this before, who does this regularly, who's an expert in this area. So if you can choose that one little area, it doesn't mean that you'll say no to someone else. And it doesn't mean that you won't begin to grow your business in other niches after you have this one clear thing that you do better than anyone else already up and established as successful. So once we've got that clear thing, we have this program that only you do. And we have now this challenge of marketing in it. Before we get to the point of marketing it, before we put it on Facebook or we tweet it, we create a flyer or a video, we have to have clearly thought about what is the message. What literally are the words that I'm going to use? What literally are the words that the customer uses to describe this problem, him or herself? That clear communication is one of the biggest gaps that we've got. We tend to, when we create our flyers, and I challenge you to go and look at all the flyers or all of the website copy you've got up and read it, and if it makes perfect sense to you, it's probably Greek to your customer. It needs to be perfectly logical and make perfect sense connecting to the heart and the head of what your customer wants, not what you want. It's not really about what you see they need. We, of course, want to give them that, but we won't get them in order to give them that unless we're giving them what they want with the appetizer at the unique, quaint, theme-ridden restaurant that we choose for lunch. We've got to give them something that really makes them want it, that makes them hungry for what it is that you offer, and you delivering it are going to be the only possible answer that they want. One of the ways that we confuse people is with terms that to us are super familiar, but to our customer really mean something different or mean nothing at all. And here's an example: boot camp, personal training, functional movement. Those things actually to you and to me probably mean different things, but to our customer they mean very different things, because every trainer out there with a blog or a website or a Facebook page is referring to functional as something different. And notoriously what we're doing is just calling it functional training without ever really describing it well enough for a customer to understand. So using those is really kind of answering the question with the same word that was asked of you in the first place. And way back in high school, you got in trouble for doing that, right? For defining the word with the word itself, it never worked. Trust me, I know. So we really need to be descriptive. What do you have? Instead of a boot camp, what could you say that you have? And describe it in a much better way. What is functional training? If that's something that you offer, describe it in a way that has meaning, makes sense, and makes me want it. And what is personal training? What does that mean to you? To a lot of people, that means a screaming, barking, demanding personal trainer who's intimidating them. Maybe that's what that person wants. Maybe that's not what you deliver. You can see the gap. We need to be more clear in the message of what the service or the product is that we deliver. And we need to be more clear in using vocabulary and marketing messages or words that are unique to us. Because if all of us are using boot camp, all of us use the word functional training, and all of us use the word personal trainer, from business card to business card and website to website, none of us are different. So how will the customer choose? It'll come down to, are you the cheapest? Are you the most convenient? And those kinds of choices are probably not the best way for the customer to get the service that they really need, or for you to be distinct and brand yourself with a reputation that you'll really be proud of. The last big challenge that I want to cover today is the idea train. So we got this idea after idea after idea, and we get excited about the novelty of every new idea. It's called the shiny penny syndrome or shiny object syndrome. And there's a new author who refers to it as the novelty syndrome. We get that new idea and we get super excited because of the novelty of it, and we roll with that for a while, and then the novelty wears off. And it takes that consistent, persistent, regular effort of marketing it, tweaking it, tracking results, tweaking it again, and we tend to see a new shiny object, and instead of following through, start with the new one all over again. So at the end of the year, I'll bet you can look back, just like I can, on a stack of legal pads or a stack of things that were on your website at the beginning of last year that really aren't going very well this year because you've dropped the marketing ball on them. You stopped publishing articles and videos, and you stopped marketing with a fresh appeal and new marketing language to attract more and deeper and broader people to that group. So if that's true, your good ideas are still there, and maybe they just need a little CPR, and you can breathe some more life back into them. So I just want to recap. So those are the 3 targets of challenges that we face in the fitness industry. Number one, we have too many programs going on, most of us. We're either trying to do privates, we're trying to do small groups, and we're trying to do big groups, or we're trying to serve golfers, and we're trying to serve volleyball players from high school, and we're trying to serve pre and postnatal people, and trying to serve older adults. We have so many programs going on that we're not doing any of them really well and going really deep and being really known as the expert in our communities. The second challenge that we face is once we pick what is our excellence going to be, what is our brand, in what area and what service are we going to declare this is it? How do we message for that? How do we use the message bank that describes it clearly, what problem it solves, how it solves it, and who this program is for, as well as who this program is not for? Because that sometimes will act like an application and an exclusive club when you can say, here's who it's for, here's who it's not for. It will eliminate you a lot of hassle, because those people who it's not for can tune out. But it might just pique the interest of some of those people who think, actually, no, I think that is for me. But clearly messaging what it is you do, how you do it, and how the people that you work with benefit. If you can articulate that really well, you'll be further ahead of the game than most personal trainers who are out there right now are. And then the last obstacle or hurdle that we have to jump as personal trainers who are running a business, in other words, serial entrepreneurs, is the idea train. We need those ideas to keep coming because it's probably what excites us and stimulates us. But we also need to make sure that we focus on one all the way through, that we don't stop too early, and that we take it by tweaking and tracking and testing, and tweak it and track it and test it again till we've exhausted all possible reasons why maybe the program is not deep enough or clear enough for the customer, or the message and the words we're using to get the message out are not clear enough, before we dump that idea and move on to the next one. There will always be time to test new ideas. But having too many ideas going on at one time means that none of them will be truly successful. So in video 3, I'm going to teach you several solutions to the 3 marketing challenges that we talked about in video 1, and these 3 challenges that I've talked about in video 2. So tune in for video 3. And until then, this is Deborah Atkinson, your voice for fitness, helping you build a 6 or a 7-figure personal training business.